for March the 6th, 2026, we talk about John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, Vampire Crawlers, Cursed Words, and much more. Welcome to Level 575. My name is Kaye Ross.
I'm Dennis Furia.
I'm Moxie.
I'm Ben Merkel.
And you are listening to The Level. It's a podcast for people who love video games. Welcome back. Doing it 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
It's almost like this is a podcast.
Nah, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No, we gotta. 2 weeks is nothing. We have to rebuild. I think we joked. What was it last week? We joked about having to start back at zero.
Episode 1 or 0 for computer science. Yeah.
We're back.
Well, episode 0 is where you discuss how the campaign's going to go, right?
Yes.
Well, what type of podcaster would you like to play on this series?
Yeah, I'm back on my regular recording setup, which is good.
Huzzah.
I don't have any exciting stories for like life stuff because I've just been moving my shit around. I'm just joking about like I will spend my day that is not spent prepping for other shows or doing other shows, just moving piles. A pile will have accumulated. I will need space to do something else, and I will just move another pile into that space that I just freed. Basically, my entire apartment is one of those awful video game 15 puzzles. You know, the sliding tile things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or like the traffic puzzle with the red car.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. It's pretty much what it is. So,
did The Witness ever have those? That feels like a very The Witness thing.
No, I don't think The Witness was about
so.
tracing those lines. Yeah. The closest and you know what? I'm not going to do Witness puzzle spoilers because I'd probably do it on any other podcast. But Ben, I will defer to you and be respectful.
Even though it's a 10-year-old game, you should go play The Witness if you haven't played it yet. Probably.
Right. And it's cool. It's cool when you do it in that one part of the island like that gimmick. Anyway,
so audio listeners were not able to see how genuinely happy Ben looked that Kaye stopped herself. Just radiant.
Yeah. So that's all I got. I wanted to, really weirdly, I wanted to go out. I wanted to go out this past weekend, but I had to stay in, and wanting to go out is weird for me. So
that sounds like a good feeling to have.
I know, right? But then I denied myself, and because there were piles that needed moving. Who's been doing something more exciting?
I've been trying to...
Okay, Dennis, go.
Yeah, it's been nice and warm, except for as of this day of recording, we're back to nice and freezing, so whatever. But so we've done lots of outside time and took my kids to a playground nearby, and actually picked up some neighbor kids on the way with their parents' consent. And I had like a biker gang going to this playground, and I'm just chilling, over on the side and playing Slay the Spire while they do their thing. Mm-hmm. And Luke managed to get himself stuck in a giant like climbing net thing. So it's one of those big like 3D balls that has ropes, woven all around in shapes and everything.
Oh yeah, we have one of those where I used to live.
Yeah. And he had gotten his butt like a basketball through a hoop really deep down in one of the holes, but then couldn't lift himself back up. And he's calling for help, and the other kids are trying to figure out what to do and everything.
He was in a situation that is mostly like usually for cartoon bears.
Yes.
Yep. Or the beginning of some very unsavory videos, but we're not going to take it that direction.
Nope, not.
So stuck in there, and all the kids are trying to help, and the neighborhood kid at one point in despair just goes, "Face it, Luke, you're gonna die." And Luke sounding so confident that it belied some worries. "I'm not gonna die." And the neighbor kid thinks, and he goes, "Well, you're at least gonna have back pain."
Truth.
And that
you know what, buddy? Can't
had me
argue.
rolling. Yeah. So the hilarious thing is, I watched him work on this for a while and try to group problem solve, and I was finally like, all right, I'll help. You clearly need it. And I get up there, but the holes in the webbing are smaller than the breadth of my shoulders.
Okay.
And so I was like, I'll fix this. And it's like, there's not a lot of stretch on these things. And I literally could not physically get close enough to the middle where Luke was stuck to help push it out.
At that point, you're just a mascot.
At that point, you hear, "Face it, Luke, you're going to die." So eventually they did get Luke out, thankfully, but it was quite the night. So made good use of the warm weather.
That's good. I'm glad that he got out. I'm glad that he just doesn't live at the park now.
Yeah, we'd run him food. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
I did always feel like some of that park equipment, though, could make a very nice fort,
Oh, yeah.
Just get a big blanket over top of the web rope web thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
No. I still have fond memories of the playgrounds that at the elementary school where we went, Moxie. That weird, just like solid metal pipe battleship kind of thing.
Yes, that is like a core part of my childhood.
Oh yeah. Wow. And people would just hang out kind of at the top, like the crow's nest kind of thing. We would just huck like the hardest basketballs that ever existed. Picture like metal basketballs, and just huck them straight at whoever was up there until they came down.
Those are bowling balls. You're describing bowling balls.
They hurt. They really hurt. They made like a really loud ping sound when they hit anything. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that Luke doesn't belong to the web anymore.
Yes, thankfully.
Ben, how about you?
Yeah, it was a nice, sunny weekend in Seattle. So I think I had 2 excursions. We got free tickets to the aquarium, so I went to that.
I hear that the Seattle Aquarium's great.
Yeah, I don't know what the bar is for what's a good aquarium. I think the running theme we had is this an exhibit or is this a torture machine? Because it's the first one is you can touch all these sea anemones and things like that, in real life. And so there's just a bunch of people poking these things, all day long. And it's that kind of seems like hell. And then there's another one where it simulates waves and there's some fish there. And it's if that's pleasing to them, that's nice. But I'm just seeing fish be cast back and forth by this artificial wave. And that seems kind of miserable. And then they had this one exhibit where it was this circle with jellyfish inside, and they were just going in a circle, and it looks really pretty. But then it's if you're the jellyfish, I'm in this closed system and I'm moving, but I'm not getting anywhere. And
to be
they don't
to be
brains,
fair, I
don't
don't think jellyfish is sentient.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't think they really
even
have a lot of,
and I must scream.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really a lot of motility to them. I think that they just go wherever
Yeah.
I think that Mario lied to us. Well, those weren't jellyfish; those were squid. So,
see, my go-to on aquariums is do they have a archer fish? That is my go-to.
Yeah.
The ones that spit and knock the grasshoppers and stuff off branches.
Is that the Willem Dafoe one from Finding Nemo?
I believe so, yes.
It's the black, yellow, and white ones.
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't think he ever actually
right, yeah.
shoots anything, though.
He does shoot a rock in the filter
That's right,
to get it to stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
my litmus test for an aquarium is: do they have a shark tunnel?
Gotta have a shark tunnel.
You have to have a shark tunnel. The Seattle aquarium does not have a shark tunnel, but the Newport Aquarium across the river from Cincinnati does. So does the Oregon Coast Aquarium in Newport, Oregon.
Let's define some terms. So there's a tunnel walkway where you go under/through an aquarium with sharks. That's a shark tunnel.
Yep.
But let's say there's an aquarium on either side, and then there's a tunnel of water going between two aquariums that sharks can swim through. But the viewers themselves are not encased. Does that count?
I think that is far less impressive.
But still a shark tunnel, right?
I think it depends. Like, if the sharks, if that tunnel has like concessions and a gift shop, then I hate to break it to you, but you're actually in a human aquarium and the sharks are watching you.
No. Okay. So here's the distinction. It's a shark tunnel versus a shark tube. Okay.
Okay.
The shark tunnel has you going. It's a tunnel through the sharks, and the tube is a tube through which sharks will go.
A shark tunnel just sounds like you're being eaten by the shark a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I was going to say, one other excursion I had is I saw the movie In the Mood for Love last night, which is apparently a classic movie. I had heard of it, but I had not seen it before last night. Very beautiful movie, but I don't know.
No. Yeah, I'm not aware of that. I don't know what that is.
It's a Hong Kong movie. It came out in like 2001, but it takes place in like the 1960s. So like all the settings and dress is like really immaculate. But I don't know. I'd seen it on some 25 for 25 lists, so that's why I jumped on it.
Yeah,
my pop culture thing. I just started watching. Was it Starfleet Academy or whatever? Which is really good. It's incredibly overtly woke, which is a nice thing to see in today's age.
Yeah, I know. There were people complaining about it. The thing that I saw that was most egregious, not to define it as something about the worst discourse around it, but it's like, why are there people in wheelchairs in the Star Trek universe? And it's like, shut the fuck up.
That whole thing. Like,
life gets better when you realize that's an appropriate answer for a whole lot more things than you think.
Yeah, no, shut the fuck up.
I feel like I would say like the positive side of that is like they're super pissed because like it's a series that like even for Star Trek seems to be really going out of its way to like have diversity and stuff. So I feel like it's one of those like complaints like that are like, oh, they're pissing off the right people.
Yeah. You will know me by my haters.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I only know that show from seeing people talk about it on Blue Sky. Yeah. But I'm not a Star Trek person, really.
I just try and stay out of that discourse because I know there are strong feelings with a lot of people there.
Yeah. What else?
It is spectacular, the number of people who believe that like Star Trek, like quote unquote, just got political.
Oh, yeah.
Media literacy, folks.
Yeah. Anything else besides watching Starfleet Academy, Moxie?
Nah, that's really the most of it. Kind of in the between times here. Things haven't really, things have not gotten completely insane as they will in a couple weeks when it is Cherry Blossom Festival.
Yes, that's kind of the kickoff for the tourist season, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Well,
and the best part is it's the time of the year where every Republican in DC is obligated to wear pink.
Oh, I didn't realize they did that. Yeah.
Oh, just everyone like everything is pink during Cherry Blossom Field. So it's funny. You will see people that are like wearing pink. That's like you clearly would never wear pink in any other situation.
Right. Yeah.
And it makes me smile.
Cool. Well, I think we should do the show. Talk about some video games. The regular kind of show with the grind, the multiplayer, and the end boss. And why don't we get started with
The Grind.
The Grind, where we talk about the games we have been playing over the last period of time or so. Who has something new?
I've got a couple new things.
Oh, Dennis, go.
Yeah, well, it's Next Fest, or I think we recently just exited Next Fest.
Yes.
And so I went ham and tried a bunch of different stuff. The biggest thing that I was excited for was the demo for John Carpenter's Toxic Commando.
I saw
That
you
does
playing
look pretty
that.
cool.
Yes.
Co-op kind of mow through just carpet of zombies kind of game.
It is Left 4 Dead if you also got to drive a Humvee every now and again.
Okay.
So this is made by Saber, notably, who does the Mud Runners and Snow Runners games, which I have a ton of affection for. And that DNA is absolutely woven throughout the game.
That's actually pretty cool.
For most missions, you'll very quickly be able to find a truck, and there's different kinds of vehicles. Like usually, I've been in a pickup truck or a big Humvee, but there's all sorts of different stuff you can find, and you kind of use that as a mobile rally point for the team.
Okay.
So there's usually a big gun in the back, and you're a little bit safer in the truck than you are outside of it. And the maps are pretty spread out, so you kind of need it to get efficiently from place to place. And in taking care of that becomes part of the loop of what normally would be just another Left 4 Dead like.
I didn't realize that this was the Mud Runner people.
Yes. So
That
as you're
is
driving
interesting.
around the map, however, you very much get caught in mud. You have to use grapples to pull yourself out.
Nice.
That same grapple can kind of serve a secondary purpose of like pulling down a gate or what have you. So
Can you shoot the grapple at a zombie?
oh, absolutely, you can.
Yes.
Now, most of the time, it's going to be more efficient just to run the zombie over.
Which I assume does damage to it, and you have to manage that as well, right?
Yeah, a little bit. So there is the zombies all come out of this like black tar. That is the sludge and the mud that your trucks are going through. And so anytime you go through that sludge, you want to keep your speed up, because if you slow down, you don't even have to stop all the way. Zombies start climbing out of the mud onto the car. And that's what keeps things interesting for everyone in the car other than the driver, is you are constantly shooting off zombies that are trying to climb onto the car. So I think they've done a really good job of, if you're not on the main gun and if you're not behind the wheel, you still have very interesting stuff to do.
I like how they figured out innovation of how to make it harder to just like get a car up a hill. It's just like having random zombies come at you.
Yep.
This sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
It's the best time I've had with a Left 4 Dead since, I don't even know.
It just
depends on how broadly you define Left 4 Dead
It just kind of like a machine that makes dramatic moments, right?
Yep.
Like,
oh my God, yes. So the first real mission kind of climaxes in a bit of a horde wave-based survival thing. And so the spare parts that you use to fix your car are also the currency that you use to open like special weapons chests.
oh, that's smart.
Yeah, there's a nice little push and pull there of like, you don't know what's in them, but can I open this chest or do we need that? Is the car on fire? And so figuring that out and balancing that is an important part of the game. But I got a weapon chest opened right before the big horde hit, and there was a sniper rifle inside. And the way that changed my role in the combat was really cool, because all I was doing for the entire horde mode was looking for the specials. And like the second they showed up, that was I was on point for like taking them out. And that feeling of power of, you've got three friends around you just mowing down zombies left and right, but you're pointed off in the distance, bam, and just drop someone that, would cause a bunch of trouble if they got up close is very cool.
My legs are bouncing right now. This sounds so fucking fun.
Really, really cool.
I have a feeling we're going to be playing this together on March 12th.
Maybe, possibly, yeah.
We can make it happen. Some streaming perhaps in the future.
This almost sounds a little bit like it's got some, Nazi zombies DNA?
Maybe I haven't played it, so I don't know how to compare.
Wait, or what am I? Didn't We played that in Call of Duty.
Call of Duty Black Ops co-op multiplayer.
Oh, got it. Nazi. I just thought of that as zombie mode.
No, not our current president.
Right.
It's not fucking rash.
Yeah, it's that's don't put that in the game. The John Carpenter DNA is also very apparent in this. Just like it feels very cinematic. The dialogue is corny as fuck.
To be fair though, he does not have a good record so far for video games.
What else has he done?
The only one I know of is The Thing, which was should have been a good game, but was not.
I don't think he maybe he consulted on it. I don't. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm being very stretching it for a bit.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't like that game very much at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they got it right with this one. The line I was just laughing to myself about is, the opening cutscene, you're getting introduced to the guy that's gonna send you on missions and everything, and there's something about like, oh, what do we got here? And then the guy shows up and he's like, you've got a big shit burger. That's what you've got. And then 5 seconds later, when they're agreeing to help, they're like, all right, we'll help you, but you better not double cross us. Otherwise, you'll be eating the shit burger. It's like, God.
Sounds like a John Carpenter movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the specials are nothing special. There are a couple that are designed to kind of be handled in a vehicle. So stuff that can run really fast and kind of only shows up when you're in the car. So the game director is a little visible there, but it makes sense. There's other than that, like the exploders that'll run towards the car, there's not a lot going on other than like, giant tank that just is a HP sponge, or a, trapper kind of deal that if you need to, grab one of you and you got to kill it before it can rake the other person's HP down.
Yeah. Smoker.
Yeah, there's one of you that kind of, or one of them that kind of warps around through the black sludge, which is cool. And then there's another that just like, pulls you away. So, but yeah, this is solid. And it's exciting. Each, class has different like superpowers and variants you can give to those superpowers. So there's a little bit of customization. But really you're there, for the core gameplay versus specific builds. I can't imagine this is going to be a thing that, approaches like a Diablo or what have you in terms of the skill trees and stuff. So yeah, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. It's going to be a good time.
God. Yeah, no, that sounds really good. I was disappointed when I saw that it was multiplayer co-op, but like the mudrunnerness of it.
Really?
I mean, just for because I don't play a lot of co-op shooters.
I can understand that. I was actually just having that conversation on the Discord about Marathon. I didn't realize that was not a single player.
Mandatory teaming.
So many of my experiences of like even just searching for games for Hexcrank is running across the Mimic that is the this looks really cool, and then you look at it and it's like for 1 to 4 players. It's like, is it for 1 though? Is 1 really in there, bud? Is it?
Yeah, that's rough. We'll see. I mean, spoilers for later in the episode, but the only game that I've seen do it well is Helldivers. That's still a very good experience. Helldivers 2 is when you're playing solo. Nice. But yeah, so that was John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. Technically the demo, actual thing comes out in a little bit. The other 2 demos that I tried were night and day. So I got one called Cursed Words, which is essentially Balatro Scrabble.
Okay.
And then the other was called Backseat Champions. And it pitched itself as like a roguelite deck builder for racing, which on paper seems to check a lot of boxes for me. But there wasn't much of a game there. Like yes, you would kind of watch a race unfold. The idea was you weren't directly racing the car. You were the pit crew, which somehow translated to you like chose upgrade cards for the car while it was out there on the track.
Okay.
And while yes, technically we're offered like 3 different things each time, it felt pretty on rails. Like I want to get faster first, and then I want to get better at cornering. And then when it's about time to pit stop, I'll take some things that make my pit stop better. And, even then you can't directly control how well it passes or whatever. So you could make all the right choices and still get screwed, or you could sail to victory and not really understand why. It just didn't feel like there was a ton of game there. Didn't feel like you were making a ton of impact with your choices. Mm-hmm. I could see the appeal if like you could study the course in advance and like plan out a little bit more. Like, oh, this has a lot of tight turns, so maybe I'll upgrade cornering faster or what have you. But there weren't any tools that helped you make those decisions. You kind of just picked stuff while you were watching a race. So yeah, I'm excited for Formula One to be back. Cursed Words, however, was a lot more fun. I played the first 2 characters and I just unlocked the third. Basically gives you a grid of Scrabble tiles, and you connect them to make a word. You can go diagonally or orthogonal. And then the upgrades that you buy between rounds do all sorts of crazy things to the words. So the first character at the beginning of each grid gives you some red and some blue tiles, and those are worth more. And then all of the artifacts or pickups or whatever things had modifiers for, if you match 2 red tiles in a row, you get extra points, or if your word starts and ends with a blue tile, you get more points. Stuff like that. Then there were also question mark tiles where it could be any letter. And the kind of fun thing they do is like the guy guiding you through the demo is this guy, Michael, who's telling you about what's going on. And then you get to like the shop screen where you can get all these artifacts to add question marks and do crazy things to the game. And the person there is like, all right, don't tell Michael about our secret black market. This is where you get things upgraded. And it's just Michael in a hood.
Just having a little bit of fun.
Yeah. So very, very well done. One of the artifacts was like, I think they call them stamps in this, but one of them was like all red tiles count as an E. And so like you wanted to then get, you wanted more red tiles because that allowed you to kind of use it as the letter it was, or an E. But you also didn't want to get so many red tiles that it got unwieldy. Mm-hmm. Another one let you,
it can only spell dolphin words.
Yeah. Yep. And another one allowed you to teleport between the same letter. So if you were spelling a word that had 2 of the same letter next to each other, like LL, you could land on one L and then continue the word from any other L on the board. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, all sorts of crazy stuff like that. The next character had void tiles, which were just regular tiles, but they're worth negative points instead of positive points. But then she had a bunch of artifacts where if your word had tiles next to a void tile, you got bonus points. Or there was a percentage chance that a void tile would turn into a shiny tile, which was worth like 50 points or what have you. So it very much has the Balatro feeling of like, you're going to get a score counted up at the end of the word you make. And you want to get a set of stickers and stamps were the 2 things that kind of broke that score as wide open as possible. Mm-hmm.
How many?
So yeah, I don't. Oh, go ahead.
Like, how many words in a round is it? And like, is the same thing as Balatro, which like you have a target score and that just keeps going up as you progress, or?
Correct. So there's a target score, and you have 5, or no, maybe it's 4 grids to hit that score, and the score goes up every round. So theoretically, you could use 5 words to get over a certain number of points. Generally, I could get a build going where usually with a single word, I could get over the score. Okay. But then towards the end, it would take 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. I never got to the final grid. Out of however many it was. I did see artifacts that were like on the final grid, all words are worth triple points, or all letters are worth triple points, or something like that.
And so it's just a word per grid, like each grid's
one word per grid. Yeah, there's no persistence between words. So whatever you spell with that grid, that's the word you get, and then you get a completely new randomized set. Okay. You also get one re-roll per target, where you just shuffle out a grid and decide you can't find anything good. So there's the concept is solid, and the execution is kind of the right level of production for a game like this. Mm-hmm. I don't know where the demo ends. I haven't gotten told you can't unlock more characters or more artifacts yet. Mm-hmm. But I'd be interested to kind of push towards that boundary.
Cool.
So cursed words.
Nice. I mean, taking the Balatro formula and applying it to other kinds of tabletop games. Just see, I mean, if I don't have very many questions, or if I don't seem like, oh wow, is because it's just like, well, yeah, no, obviously, yeah.
The thing I'm looking forward to is seeing how, like with the newest character having numbers added, how that's folded in and how that breaks the game. Like I saw artifacts of how if the word is the name of a number, you get extra points. If your numbers add up, if the numbers in your word add up to 7, you get like extra points. So it's like I don't even know how that will work yet, but I'm excited to find out.
Is it like leet speak?
I don't know. I gotta try it. So the game is
the only thing I can think of is leet speak, or they're gonna be teaching you Pinyin.
Yeah, or it could also be that like once you use a number, because when you use a question mark, the game will just make a guess on like if there were multiple words that it could be, it just picks one of them. And so I'm kind of wondering if it's a thing where you can use a number like a wild card, but then it's locked into that the rest of the game or something like that. So I've got ideas how I would do it, but I'll keep on playing the demo to see how they do it.
So the real question, though, is what are you going to do when I think next week Slay the Spire comes out? Like, who is the favorite child?
Oh, as if there's any question. It'll be the original Slay the Spire. I'll just be playing that. I am excited for Slay the Spire too. That'll be a big deal, but that's for next week.
There were more details about that.
Yeah,
recently.
Well, I don't know if I saw. So I saw the new trailer. I don't know if there's been something since then, but the big announcement is that it's going to be multiplayer, or at least have multiplayer ability.
Oh, huh.
Which makes zero sense to me. I cannot imagine a version of multiplayer that is not just everyone group thinking what the best play is.
I was going to say, you've been playing Slay the Spire 1 multiplayer for years now, I feel like.
Yeah. It's kind of like your thing online.
This is very true.
Yeah.
You just I cannot think of how multiplayer with multiple characters on screen at once will be meaningfully different than everyone coalescing around one character to decide on the best course.
That has to have come out of them designing the board game, right?
Yep, but the board game is very much everyone coalesces around the right thing to do all at once. Yeah. So, could still be fun, and to have like a native way to have multiple people observing the game at once could be fun. Mm-hmm. But I'm not sold. I'm not saying I can't be sold. I'm just saying I'm not sold yet. So now I'm hyped for the game overall, though. Sorry, continue.
What I'm unclear on, though, is presumably in the first game you slayed the Spire. So, like, what is going on with this one? And like, if the Spire is back, shouldn't you be like slaying the Architect?
A 2 is literally 2 spires next to each other.
That seems too close to 9/11.
That like this entire game there was like a second spire
just next door. They never show you pictures of what's to the left of the spire. The home screen is the spire, and then the sky to the right. There's nothing to say that just cropped out isn't another spire.
Yeah,
it's very bigger one. The good, the bad, and the ugly style.
Yeah.
Cool. Got anything else? Just those 3?
Those 3, I mentioned or alluded to earlier. I've been playing Helldivers 2 with Moxie. Yeah, but I figure I'll use that as like an alley-oop.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So that that is my main thing I've actually been playing is, Helldivers 2. Got back into it. So I think Des mentioned this. When you get back into the game, one of the nice features about Helldivers is they have pretty much continuously player base wide missions. So it'll be like the one that just finished was basically like over the course of this week, the players have to have conquered more planets than they lost. And
in a specific area.
Yeah, in a specific area. And when the players complete that, then everyone gets a reward of like in-game currency. And not premium currency, but one of the main ones anyways.
Please.
Yeah. You can get premium currency in-game, but that's a whole nother discussion. But one of the things that's kind of cool about it is like you don't have to, there's no like, oh, you have to contribute a certain amount to get the reward. You don't even have to have logged in. And a side effect of that is that when you do log in after not having played for a while, it's just like 50 like announcements of you like getting these things.
Yeah.
Which is cool because like you end up with a lot of currency to spend, but also lets me know that it's been, I think, at least like 540 days since I last played.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
So yeah, they've added a ton of stuff. There's an entire new faction that is, I think they're the Illuminati, but they seem like they're mostly zombie people.
And robots.
And robots?
There might be people in the robot-looking things, because they already have robots.
I'm not sure. I mean, they're all fascists, let's be honest. They are all threaten managed democracy.
Correct.
But they've added that. They've added vehicles now, so you can just straight up call down a tank. Just all sorts of stuff. So I've been experimenting with that. I've been going with a laser weapon build. So that their whole niche is that they have unlimited ammo, but build up heat. And if your heat maxes out, basically the like gun's heat sink breaks and you have to replace it. And so basically you don't have ammo in terms of how much you can shoot. The ammo is how much can you repair your gun if you like let the heat max out. Which of course, I like it because then that kind of putting together that build is basically you just saying like, my point of this build is I don't want to worry about ammo. Especially because otherwise this is a game where if you do a partial reload, you throw out the old magazine.
Yeah, it's got the realistic clips.
Exactly. So it's kind of, maximizing that. It's also, though, then kind of a thing where part of learning how to play with this sort of build is learning when it is in your best interest to purposely, where more shots now are more important than having to reload later type of a thing. So that's been a lot of fun. It's also been interesting, since last time I played was pretty early in development. So, now more than a year later, actually nearly 2 years later, the wiki and, all that sort of stuff has been filled out, which is interesting because I did not realize this is a game that is very bizarrely preoccupied with realism. So to give you an idea, your guns, how well they penetrate armor depends on what angle they hit your enemy at.
Oh, so you just like get a glance, then
Yeah, they can even, apparently it's even possible for bullets to just straight up like skip.
Okay.
And then so like just stuff like that. It's actually a bizarrely like kind of tactical game. There's a bunch of enemies that are very much revolve around like having to deal with and manage armor piercing and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Dennis, what are your thoughts?
I think this last little run of playing it, I was struck by what a beautiful game this is. Just the number of times you kind of stop on a ridge and look out over a craggy, desert kind of thing, and there's rings in it's very like No Man's Sky, just with tracer rounds flying off. So I imagine the more beautiful parts of Iran right now. Probably not funny. Oh well. So the thing that works against that, however, is the big new biome that got added is cities. And so like you do your missions through the cities. I have not found that it meaningfully changes the feel of things, except you don't get beautiful vistas anymore. It
sounds like a visibility problem.
Yeah, kind of. Like,
really? So, okay. Yeah. I'm just like the idea of like, just like here comes a whole bunch of shit rounding a corner on from behind a skyscraper. Yeah.
I won't say that hasn't happened, but generally like, you can see stuff on your radar, and you're working in increments of fairly close quarters when you get to objectives. And so outside of the odd time in the outdoor or non-city levels, I should say, where you can see like a spire across the map that you can then shoot from safety, mostly what the city does is deprive me of my beautiful skyboxes. So now, maybe I'll play more and see more of what the city has to offer, but consider me a country boy when it comes to Helldivers.
And I will say with the kind of, you're talking about getting ambushed, that sort of thing. One of the interesting things about the game from a gameplay standpoint is the gameplay is very much it's kind of like you are very much more powerful than the people you're fighting, as long as you maintain control of the situation.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to say
so
it.
it's very much a thing where like if you suddenly round a corner and there's a bunch of enemies, like you can probably win that fight. The greater issue is that like the fact that you didn't notice them coming means that like there might be other enemies coming up behind you. It's very much like as long as you're fighting on your terms, you can pretty much just take out hundreds of enemies. But the moment you are not in control, everything goes to hell.
Yeah,
okay.
You're on your front foot or you're knocked on your ass, essentially.
Especially because the game really makes extensive use of ragdoll.
Yes, that's another weird realism thing.
Yeah. I think my favorite, which I actually didn't know till like a match or two ago, is that the rocket launchers have backblast. So like if you're standing behind them, you'll just get like knocked off your feet.
God, one of like I remember learning about backblast. Nobody will have this experience, but the original version of what Team Fortress 2 was going to be was like a hyper realistic military shooter kind of deal, almost like an Arma.
Wow.
Like that's a version that got pretty far in development, and the class that I played a lot in addition to engineer was soldier because of the rocket launcher, and rocket jumping and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I know the soldier's going to be completely different because the rocket launcher is going to have backblast. Like you can hurt your teams, you can kill your teams with this. So like, can you just like straight up ice somebody with your backblast by shooting without looking?
So I will say, like, you definitely can and will very easily have friendly fire and kill your teammates. I don't know if that specifically is a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
My current most common friendly fire is one of the kind of perks or special equipment I use is basically a laser drone that kind of hovers over you and shoots at things. And the thing is, it fires a beam and it doesn't stop firing when it's switching targets. So like it very much will just sweep across the entire thing. Like, yep.
No, I swear to God, your laser hates me.
Oh yeah,
I swear there have been moments where it could turn 90 degrees this way to get to the new enemy, and it'll go 270 the opposite direction just so it can light me on fire. So it's
I mean, it is very much a any of the call-ins can squish you. Any of the extraction dropship can kill you. Like it is very much it's up there with Magicka in terms of games where friendly fire is very much part of the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Probably my favorite moments though have been when I've gotten hit either friendly fire or not, and crap. Okay, I'll wait to respawn. And then I realized that while my guy has ragdolled and flown across the map, he still has a sliver of health left.
So you're stranded.
I can just get up and keep going. If I got a stim, I can heal myself. And it's a great game representation of those moments where you see in movies where someone gets hit by the blast and then wakes up from sleeping almost that happens with some regularity. And it's a kindness to to not have to use a reinforcement to come back in. I will say though, nothing feels worse than feeling like you died, kind of all right, waiting for reinforcement, realizing you're still alive, and then immediately getting killed. It is good times.
The last thing I would say about it is the tone and kind of the storylines or whatever stuff like that continues to be very, very good. All of these missions that happen, I don't know. I think the main missions are a week to 2 weeks, something like that. Have a written blurb of what's going on, and they're all ridiculous. So the current one where I was saying you have to save all these planets, the conceit is that they sold civilians inactive bug eggs as patriotic souvenirs. And so that's why all the planets are being taken over by bugs.
God, it's funny.
And similarly, there's a bunch of shouts that your characters do that are really great. Why don't you have a helping heaping of democracy? Yeah, just that sort of weird.
People unaware, democracy is bullets in Helldivers 2, if I'm correct. Yeah.
Yes, correct. It is explicitly you are fighting for managed democracy.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah. That's all a bunch of stuff that I didn't know about Helldivers 2, a game that I played a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
worth dropping back in on if you've got it and haven't thought about it in a while.
Now that the install size is down, that might actually be feasible.
Oh yeah.
I forgot that.
Yeah. Cool. Was that all you had, Moxie?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Ben, how about you?
I got two. First off, I've still been playing a whole bunch of Mewgenics, and that's still good. Without spoiling anything, I'll say kind of where I'm at. I got to Act 3. I might have been there last week, but progress has kind of slowed down. You kind of are forced to interact with one system that I had been ignoring, which is fine. But it's it makes it a little bit more difficult, or you have to do something that's kind of hard. So I'm kind of in a prepping type phase where I'm trying to build up my cat's stats and get them to a good level so that I can start sending them out on harder missions. And so I've been focusing kind of more on the breeding aspect of the game and then going on runs when I have to. I still have a 3-room setup, and it's largely the same. I started making it more favorable in the middle room, but basically the way it is I have like a inbred fight club room where cats either need to be injured, corpses, or like super high stats that I'll send out to a run, but they're all inbred pretty much. They're kind of like my trash cats. The middle room is all my like high stats cats, but they're all very closely related to one another family wise. So that's why it's like I'll throw new cats in there and just like hope for the best. But if the cats that come out are either low stats or inbred, they get sent to the trash room and fight it out for their lives. And then the last room is just whatever my best not inbred cat is. I put them there, and I just try and find a partner for them, and then hope for the best with that offspring. And they'll either go to one room or the other from there. So that's kind of the cycle that I'm at right now. One thing I started investing in, there's like 4 different meters that or 4 different like variables your rooms has. And it's like comfort, stimulation, health, and mutation, and that kind of dictate different things. But it's like comfort is like they won't fight one another if it's high comfort, and they'll more likely to breed if there's high comfort. Stimulation, which counterintuitively, like I had to figure it out through the blue. It's not like forthcoming with what these things do, but stimulation affects how good your new cat offsprings are. It's like basically how likely they're going to take the better trait from their parent. So trying to make high stimulation rooms and the ones where I care about. And then I've started to dip in the mutation aspect of it, where putting like a higher mutation effect on a room. And so then your cats start getting like mutations in their like arms and legs and stuff. And it'll
now, are those mutations?
Yeah.
Come on, no.
Yeah, sure. I'll give it to him.
It's the same fun as the title of the game. You can't.
But yeah, so it's like by and large, mutations are positive things. There's like afflictions or like disorders, which are negative things, but that's if your like health is low in a room. If your health is high, you'll heal from like disorders or negative things like that. So anyway, so it's experimenting with that to try and get that to be improved as well. That's kind of what you start worrying about after you're getting like these pristine stat cats to make it even higher. But anyway, aside from all of that stuff, the core loop's still fun. Like just going on runs with the cats and trying to like pick the best class for them and like level them up appropriately is a lot of fun. I've been dabbling a little bit with trying to do like solo runs with cats, or like only sending 2 cats out. There's this risk reward where if you send a single cat out, like you're fighting like 10 enemies at once. So they're going to take 10 turns for every 1 turn you take. So that's like pretty rough to fight against. But every fight, you only have 1 cat that's leveling up. So you'll be, by the end of a run, you'll be like a level 20, like bard or rogue or whatever, instead of just being like a level 6 or 7 if you're having like 4 cats. So there is like a trade-off there where you can have a single cat become like super overpowered. I think where it gets really difficult is when you go to the final bosses. I made it to the boss of like the second stage of a run. They get 4 moves for every 1 move that you get, because it's assuming that you have like 4 cats there.
So it doesn't scale. Okay.
Yeah, and so you get pretty hosed there. So you definitely need to be like leveling up correctly to kind of make that work. So that's kind of like too hard of a ramp right now, so I might indulge in that later. But that is at least an interesting prospect of the game. Yeah, so it's still a good game. It's still I still enjoy it. It's not the game's not moving as quickly as it did in the first like 20 to 50 hours, which is a weird thing to say. But yeah, I don't think I'm like off of it or anything. Like I still think I enjoy playing it, so I'll probably still spend my free time playing this and still trying to push forward in it. So
it sounds like you're kind of like just like in a plateau or like a maintenance phase.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, because there's certain things you have to do. I think like the one thing I need to do, I need to go on a run where any enemy that you kill, they'll come back to life at the end of the round. So you need to both kill them and destroy their body afterwards. And you have to do that the entire run. So it's like, so I'm in a phase where I need to build up my cats before I can do that, essentially.
Yeah. It's all trolls.
Yeah. Anyway, still a great game. Still recommend that game for anyone who's halfway interested in that. The other game I've been playing is also from Next Fest. It's a new one. It was recommended by somebody at work. It's called Vampire Crawlers. This is by
the Vampire Survivors people.
Yeah, so this is made by the people who make Vampire Survivors. I think it's a team now instead of just the one dude who kind of made Vampire Survivors originally. But this is kind of like a fresh take on it. But they have intentionally kept the same mythology or like lore of the original game. So like the characters, the like weapons, and kind of the upgrade relationships are all in this game. But this game is a dungeon crawler that looks like kind of like a retro, kind of like arcade, like 90s type game. Instead of like a bullet hell, like fighting a bunch of enemies type game like the first one was. So quite literally you have a map and you're on a grid and you're given 6 different keys to either rotate your camera 90 degrees in either direction or move forward in like a D-pad sort of thing. Yeah. And so you're given a map of a dungeon. You see where different monsters are. You see where some treasure chests are, and you see where the boss is. That kind of leads to the next level of a dungeon. A given dungeon could have like 4 or 5 different stages to it. I don't think you can quit out early. I think you just go until you die or you get to the last level. But what you're doing is it's essentially a deck builder game when you're doing your fights. So instead of it just being these passive things that are being fired, it's kind of like Slay the Spire a little bit, where you draw a hand of cards, you figure out what to play, and then it's their turn, and then you go back and forth. The key mechanic of this one that kind of differentiates it is you have a total mana cost, just like Slay the Spire, but it pays particular attention to the mana cost of each of the cards that you're playing, like 0, 1, or 2. You start off with like 2 mana, I think, but that progresses as you go throughout dungeon levels. And the main thing that you're trying to do is play cards in ascending numeric order. So play 0, then a 1 card, then a 2 card, then a 3 card if you can. And if you do that, there's a multiplier effect. So when you play the first one, it just does what the normal card is. The next one, it'll be twice as effective as what it is. And then the next one in the chain, it'll be 3 times as effective as whatever it is. And then the next one will be 4 times as effective. So if you can chain these things together, like your high-end card, instead of it doing like 100 damage, it might be doing 600 damage to everything. If you get a chain of cards to play it. So that's like the main mechanic, and that's like the main goal of it, is to try and chain these things together. And they have interesting ways to iterate on it, like throughout the map you might find these wild cards which will just fill in a combo. You eventually level up the cards that you have, where you can like insert gems in them, and that can have different effects, like drawing new cards, filling in a combo, or counting as like whatever the current combo is, independent of its number, doing double damage, like random things like that you kind of choose how to upgrade as you're doing a run. Or like you might draw a set of 3 new cards. So like you're picking a new thing to add to your deck, kind of trying to pay attention to your distribution of like 0, 1s, and 2s and stuff like that. So you can kind of get a consistent chain going. But yeah, the individual cards that you get, they're all like weapons or items that are in Vampire Survivors. Like there's things like daggers, the holy books, Santa water, and things like that. They're just kind of remapped here, where it's like the cards have different types, where it's like red cards are like damage cards, whereas like yellow cards are some sort of effect, like increase your hand size or draw new cards, something like that.
Sorry, increasing your hand size. Like the Everlong video.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. I was listening, but like that hit me. I was just like, what the fuck?
Angry Dave Grohl. Yeah, and so what's important to note too is like there's temporary effects, where it's like cards that you play that'll happen for the fight that you're doing. Like when you run into an enemy, like enemies on the map are essentially potentially more a wave of enemies, where it might be like a chain of like 3x5 enemies, and it's like you kill the first 3, others will come up behind them, and then you keep killing them until you're done. So there's like there's individual like upgrades of like you're just upgrading a stat for that battle, and then there's upgrades that persist throughout an entire dungeon run. So things like your experience going up, your luck going up, stuff like that. So yeah, I just played the demo, but I played it for a good like 2 to 4 hours or so, and it goes by pretty quickly. Like once you get like the vocabulary of it going, it moves about as quickly as like Vampire Survivors. Where it's like
it's pretty quick.
Yeah, it's like you're playing the time between like upgrading things is like the same. It's just you're just shooting out and playing cards like really quickly against these things. So so it seems like it has a lot of promise. In between dungeon runs, there's like a city that you hang out in, and that has like permanent upgrades, just like in Vampire Survivors, where it's like you spend the gold that you've accumulated to unlock new features, new characters, do perma upgrades to your stats, that type of stuff. And yeah, you slowly unlock new characters that have new weapons and kind of new deck styles. One card in every deck.
There are a lot of characters for them to choose from or to adapt.
Yeah. And one card in each of the decks is the character itself, and they'll have some sort of special rule to it where it's like every time you play this color card, this stat gets upgraded, something like that. And then just looking at like the subreddit for the game, there's already like a lot of ways that you can just like break the game, where it's like, because I think I was leveling up to like maybe 30s or 40s or something, but it's like somebody playing one card can level them up like 100 levels or something like that. So it's like so there are like real sadistic ways that you can kind of break open this game. But yeah, would definitely recommend it if you like the Vampire Survivors game. Even though it's not a clean 1-to-1 between the core mechanic, the vibe is definitely very similar. So and if you like retro games like this, it's definitely dripping in that aesthetic. So yeah.
Sweet. I love a good dungeon crawler.
Yeah. It's supposed to come out, I think, sometime spring or summer this year too. So I will be eager to pick it up. But
cool.
That's all I got.
I don't have anything. I've continued picking up a pile and moving it, and then putting another pile where that was. So, like, there's stuff that I want to play. Like, I have not played the new Resident Evil. That's killing me. We haven't even talked about it. I was not aware of it until just recently, but that Pokemon Pokopia game is coming out here pretty soon.
Oh, too. That looks amazing.
Yeah, it's like Pokemon Stardew, where you're playing as a Ditto pretending to be human.
Because
it's getting
humans
really good
have
reviews.
Gone extinct.
Have they? I didn't see that part.
All the humans have at least disappeared.
Okay.
And so, yeah, my understanding is like kind of the premise is you're finding all these Pokemon that like have relied on humans for like years and years. And
okay. Bleak. Yeah. So I hope and pray that I'll have something ready for next week. I will try. I swear.
Are you by any chance streaming this weekend?
I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah. I need to get my streaming setup put together. I'm kind of dreading it because I shipped my computer, and I got. Are you guys aware of these expanding foam pack things?
No.
Yeah. So so I was looking at like, how do you ship a computer across the country, right? Because there are all these components and stuff, and I was like, okay, do I take everything out? Like, it's liquid cooled. Will that be a problem? All this kind of stuff. And they said no. Like when you're shipping a computer across country, what they do is they have these things. I forget what they're called. This is just it doesn't have it's like a big pouch, like a big plastic pouch. And kind of on the bottom, there are these two little pockets that contain chemicals. And what you do is you pop them and then mix them up to each other. And as they start mixing, they start expanding, and you have to like spread it through the entire thing, and then throw that into a particular spot in your computer case, and it expands and turns into kind of like this pillow that, like as it solidifies, will like mold to the inside of your computer case, holding your like graphics card and your CPU cooler together.
It's
That's
like
cool.
a hemostatic bandage.
How do you get it out? How do you get it out once it's there?
No. So the way that it expands, it's always like it never like wraps around something like entirely. So it will never like entangle it. It just kind of molds to it. And you put in a few to fill up the entire space. So I did all of this. Like I followed the tips that I saw, but I'm really worried that my very expensive computer might not boot if I plug it in. So I'm kind of protecting myself from that right now.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Multiplayer.
Now it is time for the multiplayer, where we ask you a question and you answer it. Dennis, what is the question that you asked the nice people?
Yeah, and credit where credit is due. This was actually suggested by Moxie.
Ooh.
I don't know how long ago, but it was a very fun question of, there are all these things in video games that you know how they work, but you don't technically know how they work. You've kind of just figured them out through intuition and experimentation. So what are those systems that, like, technically they're a mystery to you, but you also have a pretty good grasp of?
Yeah. And I'll get us started here with Threnza, who says, the weaponsmithing system in Legend of Mana is a messy and complex system in an already messy and complex game that can vary from giving you a small power boost to breaking the game. I got the game in my pre-game facts stage, 2001-ish, so I was left to chuck stuff in and figure things out on my own. That's about where I stand on like the potion and spell crafting stuff, like in Morrowind, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never played Legend of Mana, but yeah, in terms of like inscrutable crafting systems that have a huge swing in the way they impact the game, that's my closest reference point. Let's see.
Fair enough.
Moxie, what does Jala say?
I love this one. Jala simply says, Fire Emblem.
Just the whole thing.
Yep, that feels right.
Yeah, but what about Fire? No, just Fire Emblem. Just Fire Emblem.
I will be honest. Every time I hear about Fire Emblem, I am more confused.
There's tea ceremonies. Like, what the fuck are we? Yeah, yeah. This one likes to be next to that one. Just completely lost. Ben, what does Troy say?
Troy says, slay the spire. Sometimes those synergies are going apeshit and I have no clue what the fuck is going on.
Happy accidents. No.
Yep.
Yep. I've definitely hit points where, like, towards the end of the run, I'm like, I am just coasting here. This is awesome. And I open up the deck list and I'm like, really?
With this? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always nice when there's a pleasant surprise like that. Like, the way that I play Monster Train, especially Monster Train 2, because like we covered it for WoF, but I didn't play it enough to like really internalize any clan's like full card set. It's just like, I have a vague feeling that this is shaped like something that will be broken. And I don't understand, like I could not explain to somebody else how this, how this would work, but just going to give it a shot. And then just the turn last for, 20 seconds as like the various like knock-on effects happen, and it's like, cool, I am not going to ask questions about this, because if I do, it'll break it.
Yep. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Dennis, what's Callum say?
Callum says, I had this with the Shining Force series and later Final Fantasy Tactics. I never had any guides, yet even when I replay them in adulthood, I've internalized the ways to maximize XP gain.
Yeah.
Does anyone recognize specific tricks from those series to boost XP?
We would need Jolly here for Shining Force. For Final Fantasy Tactics, like XP gains, there are, lots of situations where you can get into where you can like farm and get a ton of XP or JP. But like Final Fantasy Tactics has a lot of systems that are just very poorly explained, never tutorialized. Things like that. Things like the Zodiac system and the way that interplays with like how effective you are at different times of the year versus like your faith and your bravery. I love Final Fantasy Tactics. Every time I need to understand that, I have to go and read about it again because it just does not stay inside my head.
Very fair.
Yeah. Robinson writes, after playing single-player Age of Empires 2 for years, I intuit how enemy behavior worked without actually reading up how the computer AI functions. That's a pretty good way of managing that, because I feel like if you looked up the actual logic for it, that might take some of the magic out of the game. To me, yeah,
that's fair. And I mean, you know, from that angle, when he says it like that, it almost feels like that's a mark of good game design when you can intuit how the AI will behave without saying specifically what the logic chain is for it.
Yeah. Moxie, what does Lucy say?
Lucy says, this is generally not how I interact with a game because I am a reader of things. But much of the,
Brag.
But much of the frame data for the fighting game I play, I sort of learn from trying stuff, even if I eventually lab out and learn the actual info at some point. Warframe weans you off going in blind in many games. Yes, that is true. Yeah,
Can you elaborate on that?
Oh,
good.
Yes.
Sorry.
Just where do I begin? No, just Warframe. Yeah, it's just a game that has systems upon systems, and a significant portion of the game is farming, and so it is very much a game where like theory crafting is a big part of it.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm still not sure what game. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, continue.
I do feel like Reader of Things is very much like the Duckfeed way to approach games, though.
I still have not gotten a handle on what game it is that Lucy actually plays. She posts about fighting games a lot, and only if there's any specificity, it is in acronyms that I could not begin to decode. So I'm just glad she's having a good time.
I like to hope that she's a NecroArc player in Melty Blood, just because that makes everything funnier. But yeah, that's my
If you had improvised those names, I would not be able to call you on it.
Yeah, no, all I heard was just howling wind. Ben, what does Count Zero or say?
Count Zero or says, blue magic in Final Fantasy games, even with guides and FAQs, there's fundamental level of have the right job or ability equipped and just tank abilities in the face and hope you don't die.
Yeah, that is one of those things where it is really reliant on a guide, or you just using a party slot in a suboptimal way. Blue magic is like a blue mage uses enemy abilities, but only after they have been used on them. So you kind of have to know, okay, this enemy has something that I need to learn. I need to make myself vulnerable to it so I can use it. And these are often extremely powerful attacks, well more powerful than what you could otherwise get with other schools of magic. I have this experience with like thieves as well, knowing like, oh, the equipment that breaks the game, you have to know to steal it from this enemy who dies in one turn that you can only fight once. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know also, particularly for Final Fantasy Online, there's a weird thing where like you can't use blue magic. You can't spec as blue mage in anything important. So like any of the high-end dungeons, stuff like that, you can't play as blue mage just because like they haven't really bothered to balance it.
Oh, weird. Huh.
Yeah. There's enough silver bullets in the game that if you can collect them all, then you're set.
Right, exactly.
My version of this is the poise system in anything outside of Dark Souls 1. We did all those seasons about various Soulsborne games, and every single one, like, changes poise in different ways, primarily in order to nerf it. So like poise in Dark Souls 1 is just armors have different values, which say that you can your attacks will not be interrupted unless they do a certain amount of damage. I forget specifically what it is that does it, but just like poise specifically says, will I be interrupted when a bunch of stuff is attacking me or not?
Right.
People would use this specifically in PvP, just equipping Havel's armor and then just going in like, hey, you can't stun lock me. I'm just going to keep on spamming attack and just wailing on you. And other games have changed it, except like certain side cases where like a particular ability would like give you a poise like effect for a certain amount of time, or like Dark Souls 3 had like a hyper armor kind of situation. I don't know what hyper armor is. I just know that that's a phrase that is that is used.
I actually know that one because that's the only way I beat the game.
But even then, yeah. So like I could not describe to you specifically how the poise system in any of them work. So like when picking my armor in those, it was pretty much just Fashion Souls. Yeah,
that feels about right.
Those games are important to me. Understanding them is really important to me, but just never lined up.
I mean, you understand them, you just can't understand.
At least like shield stability stayed pretty much the same, which is nice. Yeah. Anyway, Moxie, how about you?
So a couple ones on this. So with the image that was selected for it is, I've played a fair amount of Kirby, but I have no idea what the rules actually are for the way jumps work. Like, how many jumps do you get before you start to fall? Do you, have to touch the ground to reset? Just the whole thing, like, I don't know. Other honorable mention would be like, what actually got me thinking about this question was I realized I have no idea how the rings actually work when you get hit in Sonic. Like, as a kid, I always had the idea like, oh, if I just got good enough at collecting the rings, I'd be, invincible. And I have no idea. Like, I presume that's not the case, but I have no idea how it works.
I can explain it for you. It's very simple, but I do not know if that is information that you want.
Nah, it's more fun the other way.
Don't ruin magic.
And the last topical one is I have no idea what any of the stats in Pokemon do.
Oh, yeah. Let alone the hidden stats. That's somebody else's business.
Yep.
Yeah. Ben, how about you? This seems like it'd be hard for you. You seem to be a thing understander.
I got semi-swooped here because I was going to answer in the opposite way of what's a system you know explicitly but don't know intuitively, and I was going to say the Pokemon like weaknesses and super effectiveness and ineffectiveness, where it's like
that's not that's a whole other thing. Yeah,
some of them like make sense, like fire, water, electricity, like that sort of thing. But then when it starts getting into like bug, ice, ground, psychic, and like one's weak to the other, it's like, sure, I don't know, I guess. Like
after Gen 2, I got fucking nothing. Like if you try and like if you put a gun to my head and said you need to tell me what is strong in this situation between dark, fairy, psychic, and ghost, I'd be like, can I tell my family goodbye? Can I tell my podcast guys I'm not going to be able to record next week? Yeah.
So my recent like thing I know I'm going to have to obsess over and figure out the answer to was talking with Jala about they just announced the new starters for the next Pokemon, and we had talked about they're actually
one is just an angry bird.
Yeah, one is an angry bird, one is a Pomeranian, and the other one is the Basilisk from the depths.
Yeah, no, I heard it described as an angry bird. It is the dog from Undertale and an extremely cunty lizard. It's got these big, like, smoky eyes.
Getting all the sass.
I don't know.
But we got talking about, like, wouldn't it be interesting if they did starters that weren't fire, grass, and water? So now I'm going to have to go back and try to figure out, like, what would be 3 types that you could do instead of those and still have the same, relationship with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like yellow, blue, and red in Fire Emblem.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Gonna have to trust you on that. Dennis, how about you?
Yeah, for me, I'm going to go to my old standby of Trackmania, and specifically the ice slides. Like, ice is one of the main surfaces that gets raced on. It is just been in pretty much every version of the game.
That's not how that's supposed to work.
Yeah. And it is beyond just slidey. There's a whole bunch of weird stuff going on over the surface under the surface, where you got to get your car turned to the right angle and then steer back into it, and then sometimes I'll go around a corner on ice and fire off like I had a slingshot. Sometimes I'll go around a corner on ice and feel like I'm trying to, like, dig my way out of quicksand, and I cannot for the life of me tell you the exact details. Except when you know the tires bite, you know the tires bite.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I know that there are people who, like, specialize in ice as a surface, and are incredibly good at it, and like that a ton. I've just never been able to, like, articulate how it works.
Mm-hmm.
See, I feel like the entire time I was doing that, I'd just be like, man, I could be playing spin tires.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. Good question.
Man, the water starters are all fuckboys, aren't they? They get their final evolutions.
God, I'm just thinking about Squirtle. Yeah. No. Squirtle does just straight up, like, grow cannons. Yeah. Good question, Moxie, and good answers, everybody who wrote in. Thank you so much. If you would like to participate in these in the future, follow us on Blue Sky at thelevel.bsky.social, and watch for the prompts to go up on Monday afternoons.
The end boss.
Now it is time for the End Boss, where we talk about the things that are going on in the world of video games around us and how we feel about them. Moxie, what's happening with Jala's game?
Yeah, so Jala has been working on a game. It's a text-based sort of choose-your-adventure game, although... and this is actually what she's been working on recently. Unlike a traditional text-based game, extensive sound effects, music, stuff like that. I believe she wants to have at least some voice acting, although I'm not sure of the degree. But she's actually got a demo out now on itch.io. And as I understand it, it's the full narrative, but doesn't of the game, but doesn't necessarily have, like, the puzzles implemented and that sort of thing. So it's kind of just reading it for the story.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I can tell, I'm still in kind of the introduction part of the story, but from what I can tell, it appears to be a kind of a continuation of the Phantom of the Opera. If, like, the Phantom escaped the police by, like, traveling through time. Again,
that tracks for Jala. I would believe that.
Yeah, I'm very early on to figure out, but it's kind of the what was that Resident Evil game? Kind of the Kendo's Journey or whatever of of Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom of the Opera meets a little bit of like Steins Gate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like I said, I'm very early on, so I may be completely misreading it, but it's a lot of fun. The sound design's really cool. It's been fun. She streams sometimes when she's working out, and it is a lot of fun just sitting listening to her listen to exactly what sound do I want this door opening to make, that sort of thing.
That is both a joyous process, like going through the free sound archive, and really frustrating because somebody will have something that you like but they didn't record it well.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah. We didn't say the name of this. It's Shadow Reminiscence, and she's had this in her for a while. And it's really cool to see it develop into a spot where people can jump into it.
Really highly recommend it.
Yeah. That's at jalachan.itch.io. And her development streams, in addition to her playing games and streaming and stuff, twitch.tv/jalachan. Yeah. Cool. Let's see, Dennis, what is happening with Highguard?
No one could have seen this coming, folks.
It's on my backlog. Probably going to get to it in about 6 months.
You're just waiting for the meta to settle, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm waiting for them to get the kinks out.
And it's gone. Highguard officially lasted 3 Concords before it is going to get shut down. They just announced that after heavy layoffs right after its launch, that they were not able to build a player base that could sustain it, and will be shutting down the game permanently on March 12th. And it's just, man, I will be more surprised at this point if a live service game does not die after a couple of weeks. This got everything going for it. This got the surprise final hype announcement at the Game Awards even. And from all reports was a very functional, playable game. There weren't terrible problems like other live service games have had at launch. Just people didn't stick around, and they did not have any plan for how to sustain if they weren't a mega hit that literally everyone played.
It's just colossal mismanagement. I never understood what people didn't like about it. To
the game or the
no, the game. A lot of these games look the same to me. The backlash against it that I saw was basically people doing the same thing with Concord. We're it's woke. We need to make sure it fails. Blah blah blah. But that's only.
Really?
Yeah, but that's literally just me paying attention to the parts of the web where people do that kind of annoying shit.
Yeah, that's the algorithm knowing that you like to see that stuff.
Is a weird way to say it.
Oh, sorry. That's the algorithm knowing that you will engage if you see that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, most of the stuff I had seen was just people being very done with live service games, and so I don't know, I have very mixed feelings about this because I feel bad for the developers. I do feel like they kind of got a raw deal. On the other hand, kind of fuck live service games.
Fuck live service games. Fuck management in this case for launching this without 3 to 6 months worth of cushion to actually support it. You can't people are probably not going to find this thing right away in a market that seems from the outside pretty satisfied with hero shooters like Overwatch and Apex Legends still.
Mm-hmm. The genre is kind of crystallized.
Yeah,
it feels like, and I don't know why people keep on trying to break in.
Yeah,
it feels very similar to like $1 billion movies, where it's like it needs to make $1 billion or it's like a failure, and it's like it's just such a risk to do something like that. But
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, they've got one last update coming out that's going to have a new character, a new weapon, account level progression for as far as you're going to be able to get on that. And then finally, skill trees, which feels like something that a game should launch with instead of have added a week before it dies. But
yeah,
I'm not one of these $1 billion execs who knows how to do these things. So they must know something I don't.
Have they said, are they releasing the game to the wild? Like, are they going to release the server code or anything like that?
Not that I can see. It's just gone on the 12th.
Just so fucking the crater, like the fucking wasteland that is this decade of live service. Yeah. Of shit that does exactly this, if not as quickly or as extremely, of all of these resources that could have gone to so many just excellent small scale narrative games like we got in the 2000s and before. Just all of this talent and time and energy waste on these things that just dry up like a fucking puddle in a parking lot. It makes me really angry when I think about it.
Well, and it's also strange because there's been very few successful live service games and even less good live service games.
Yeah. So, Kaye, like your algorithm shows you the woke complainers. Mine shows me the people that are like, man, I bought the $1,500 package because you got to believe in the devs and support them. And
no, you don't.
You guys just aren't. Why don't you all buy as much as I did so that you could, make the game succeed? It's your fault. Yeah. So there's all takes on it out there.
Yeah. Dumb. That's just dumb. Well, I feel bad for those developers. It's fucking brutal out there.
I can't wait for the next live service game above Protect.
Oh, sorry. Just okay. It was a little bit arcane for me.
I've got a lot of long fuses on my equips.
Yeah,
tonight, so. Oh well.
I might just be slow. I'm really tired.
If somebody didn't like the joke, would that be a low blow?
Speaking of studios that got screwed by live service, last week we kind of alluded to it. It was a bit of a side story in the discussion. What studio was it that closed down? We mentioned
Bluepoint.
Yeah, that's the real sad thing is I still have no idea what one you're talking about. It could be like 10.
Yeah, it wasn't specifically Bluepoint that we talked about last weekend, but Bluepoint was brought up. Some reporting from Jason Schreier has come out as he looked into the story behind, like, hey, what happened at Bluepoint, which very famously was put onto a live service God of War game, which fuck me how that would have worked. But everybody kind of thought if we're going to get a Bloodborne remake, it would probably come from Bluepoint. Because they made the Shadow of the Colossus remake, they made the Demon Souls remake, which people have, just some complaints about. I think it's fine. Both games still exist, etc., whatever. But people who wanted something in a Bloodborne remake, some kind of updating, whether or not that was necessary, they thought, well, Bluepoint's the obvious way to do it. People at Bluepoint felt that way too. Everybody just kind of thought that project was going to come down the pipeline for them. But turns out, FromSoft is the one that got in the way.
Not gonna lie, I'm actually getting really worried about FromSoft.
I'm a little bit concerned. I need to see something from them that isn't one of these Night Rain / Duskbloods multiplayer live service kind of things. Again, pursuant to previous conversations. But the question just kind of came down to like the numbers making a lot of sense. Like, hey, if you make this, people are going to buy it. But FromSoft not wanting Bluepoint to do it. It's unclear if that is because of IP disputes with Sony. Sony specifically didn't get in the way of this, is my understanding. But Sony owns the Bloodborne license, essentially, for stuff in that world. I've got no idea what the management at FromSoft's quibble is. It might be that FromSoft wanted to do their own. I personally am of the belief that you just need to like release a version of Bloodborne for modern systems that has maybe up-res textures and runs at 60 frames per second. I think it's still a really good-looking game, as seen when I emulated it and streamed it. It looks amazing with fan enhancements.
Demon Souls did not gain from the graphical changes they've made.
That is a point of finer discussion. I think it's neat that you can actually see what some things are now. But regardless, I love the original version of Demon Souls. I'm not saying blah, blah, blah. I'm not really taking a side on that. I don't think that Bloodborne necessarily needs a lot of work, and I don't know that people are really asking for it. I think they just want it to be accessible. But yeah, no. So yeah, Bluepoint closed down. Really does not seem that there's any hope, with FromSoft standing in the way of there being a revival of, even just Bloodborne as we know it right now. So, locked at 30 frames for people who care about that.
Yeah, and you definitely should not download a PlayStation emulator and get the 60 FPS mod.
If you do it, make sure you have a few days to dedicate to it.
True.
Notionally. Bloodborne's a good game. Ben, did you find a story while we were talking, or are you still riding free? All right.
I'm storyless.
Attaboy. Cool. Well, how does everybody feel about buttoning it up?
Button Nation.
The credit.
Thank you so much for listening to level number 575. About a half a year until we reach the big 600. If you like the show, you can go leave ratings or reviews, or even comments on certain places on like particular episodes. That really helps us, in addition to you telling friends, and supporting the network on patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. I'm hoping to get back to streaming here. I really need to play Resident Evil Requiem or I'm going to fucking die. So that might be happening at twitch.tv/Duckfeed.tv as well. Is there anything I'm forgetting admin-wise?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Once again, go check out Jala's demo for her game Shatter Reminiscence. That is on it's jalachan.itch.io. If you want to check out her progress there and see the story. Otherwise, I've been Kaye. You can find me on Blue Sky at Kaye.zone.
I've been Dennis Furia. I'm at Blue Sky at Furia Games.
I'm Moxie.
I've been Ben Merkel.
And stick around for some titles. Okay, who has titles?
Got two.
Okay.
Yep. First one is increasing your hand size. And then the second one is a reader of things.
All right. Ben, you got any?
I just got one. It's water starters or fuckboys.
Fuck BOIS or fuck BOYs?
Dealer's choice, but
I like the BOIS.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moxie, how about you?
I've got nothing.
Okay. I have spelling dolphin words.
Also good.
Yeah. I was really proud. It's lame to put in one of my own, but I was really proud of that joke.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
It sounds like a choice between a reader of things or spelling dolphin words.
I like spelling dolphin words since the other one's
Yeah.
referencing a reader's comment.
Okay.
Done.
All right. It is
Sweet.
decided.